Ladies and gentlemen, let me ask you something. How valuable is your time? When you break it down, there's not a single minute that isn't worth everything. We've all got just 24 hours each day, and how we use it shapes everything about our lives. If you're busy focusing on everyone else's lives, everyone else's drama, you're robbing yourself of your own potential. This time you have is limited. Spend it wisely. When we talk about investing in growth, we're not just talking about getting a better job, making more money, or picking up a new skill, though those can all be part of it. Investing in growth is a mindset. It's a commitment to becoming the best version of yourself, step by step, day by day. And the beauty of this journey is that it's uniquely yours. It's about putting yourself first in a way that lets you give the world the best of what you have to offer. The first step to investing in your growth is understanding where you are now. Self-awareness is crucial. It's about taking an honest look at where you're starting, what your strengths are, and where you need improvement. Too many people rush into change without knowing their own foundations. They set big goals without having a solid sense of self, and they end up frustrated or lost when things get tough. Take the time to really know yourself, what you're passionate about, what motivates you, and where your potential lies. Self-awareness is a kind of power. It lets you navigate life with confidence, knowing where you want to go and what you need to work on to get there. Once you know yourself, the next part of investing in growth is to start setting clear, realistic goals. These goals should be specific, not just vague aspirations. If you want to get stronger physically, set a goal to work out 3 times a week. If you want to learn a new language, set a goal to practice daily for 30 minutes. Small steps, clearly defined, are easier to stick with and more likely to build up into something significant over time. Each goal achieved, no matter how small, boosts your confidence and motivates you to keep going. This process of setting and achieving goals is like training a muscle. The more you do it, the stronger and more resilient you become. But investing in growth is also about knowing what to cut out. Just like you would pull weeds out of a garden to let your plants thrive, you need to remove the distractions, the toxic influences, and the unnecessary commitments that drain you. These things often sneak up on us, taking up space in our minds and our schedules without us even realizing it. But if you're committed to growing, you need to be intentional with your time and energy. Take a hard look at your daily routine, your social circle, and even your thoughts. If something doesn't serve your growth, it may be time to let it go. Another key aspect of investing in growth is staying curious and open to learning. The world is full of knowledge and experiences waiting to be explored. Make a habit of learning something new, even if it's just a small fact or skill each day. Read books that challenge your thinking. Listen to podcasts that broaden your perspective, or watch documentaries that introduce you to new ideas. Growth isn't just about what you already know, it's about constantly pushing the boundaries of your knowledge and understanding. And when you approach life with this open-minded curiosity, you'll find opportunities for growth in the most unexpected places. Let's talk about discipline. Growth isn't a one-time decision, it's a series of choices made every day. Discipline is what separates the people who dream of success from those who actually achieve it. There will be days when motivation fades, when the journey feels tough, and when you'd rather do anything else but keep pushing forward. That's when discipline comes in. It's the commitment to stick with your goals, even when you don't feel like it, even when you're tired or frustrated. It's about being consistent in the small things, like sticking to your morning routine, putting in those extra hours of work, or keeping a positive mindset even when things aren't going your way. Discipline builds resilience, and resilience is essential for long-term growth. Alongside discipline, patience is a vital ingredient in your growth journey. Growth doesn't happen overnight, and there will be setbacks. There will be moments when you feel like you're not making progress or when things don't go as planned. But those who succeed are the ones who understand that growth is a process. They don't quit when things get hard. They understand that each step, no matter how small, is moving them forward. Patience means staying focused on the bigger picture, even when you're not seeing immediate results. It means trusting that the work you're putting in today will pay off down the line. Investing in growth is about finding purpose in the journey itself. It's easy to get caught up in the destination and what you want to achieve or who you want to become. But true growth happens when you learn to appreciate each step of the process, no matter how small. It's about becoming the kind of person who is dedicated to self-improvement, who finds joy in learning and overcoming challenges, and who never settles for less than they're capable of. Growth isn't about reaching a specific place, it's about developing the mindset and habits that will let you keep evolving throughout your life. To invest in growth is to make a commitment to yourself. It's a promise that you'll keep pushing forward, learning, adapting, and growing no matter what obstacles you face. It's about building a foundation that's strong enough to carry you through life's challenges, a foundation that gives you confidence and purpose. Remember, you are your own greatest investment, and there's no limit to what you can achieve when you're committed to growing every day. When it comes to guarding your time, understand this time is one of the most valuable resources you have. And unlike money or material goods, it's non-renewable. Once it's gone forever. Every single day, every hour, and every minute counts towards shaping who you are, what you accomplish, and the legacy you leave behind. Yet too often we spend our time carelessly, giving it away to people and situations that don't serve us, leaving our own goals and growth by the wayside. Guarding your time isn't just about avoiding distractions, it's about being purposeful with the minutes you have. It's about recognizing that your time is your life, and every second you spend should serve your growth, your happiness, or your peace. The first step in guarding your time is knowing what truly matters to you. Without clarity on what you value, it's easy to get swept up in other people's agendas, demands, and expectations. Reflect on your priorities. What are the most important things in your life? It could be personal growth, health, relationships, career goals, or passions. Once you're clear on what matters, you're better able to spot activities or people that waste your time or pull you off course. Being intentional about where you put your energy starts with a strong understanding of your own priorities. Because when you know what matters, you can more confidently say no to things that don't align with those priorities. Learning to say no is a powerful tool in guarding your time. Many of us struggle with this because we don't want to disappoint others or feel uncomfortable refusing someone's request. But here's the truth. Every time you say yes to something that doesn't align with your goals, you're saying no to something else that does. Think of time as a limited space. There's only so much of it to go around. If you're filling it with things that don't serve your growth, there won't be enough room left for what does. Saying no isn't selfish, it's necessary. It's a form of self-respect. And it's essential for preserving your time and energy for the things that matter most to you. Guarding your time also involves creating boundaries. This means setting clear limits with people in situations that often demand more than you can give. These could be boundaries with co-workers who bring unnecessary drama, friends who always need a favor, or even family members who unintentionally consume your time. Establishing boundaries doesn't mean you care any less. It means you're protecting your mental space and your time so that you can be the best version of yourself. Boundaries communicate to others that your time is valuable, that it's not to be taken for granted. And in doing so, you start to attract people who respect you and your time. Another aspect of guarding your time is cutting out distractions. In today's world, distractions are everywhere, from the constant buzz of notifications to endless social media feeds. These distractions may seem harmless, but they add up, pulling you away from your goals and wasting hours that could have been spent on meaningful activities. Start by identifying your biggest distractions and work on minimizing them. Maybe it's turning off notifications, limiting social media usage, or setting designated times for certain activities. Guarding your time requires a conscious effort to minimize anything that doesn't contribute to your growth, peace, or happiness. To be truly effective in guarding your time, practice managing it wisely. This doesn't mean packing every second of your day with activities. It's about quality over quantity. Break your goals down into actionable steps and set aside dedicated time each day to work on them. Create a schedule that aligns with your priorities and be disciplined in sticking to it. Time management is like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. Start with small habits like setting a routine and gradually build on it. As you get better at managing your time, you'll find yourself feeling more productive, less stressed, and more in control of your life. It's also essential to evaluate where your time is going. At the end of each day or week, reflect on how you spent your time. Were there moments where you allowed distractions to creep in? Did you spend time on things that didn't align with your goals or values? Reflection is a powerful tool for improvement, and it helps you fine-tune your time management so you can make even better choices in the future. When you consistently evaluate your time, you become more aware of what works for you and what doesn't. This awareness lets you adjust as needed, cutting out even the smallest time-wasting habits and replacing them with intentional, purposeful activities. Guarding your time also means learning to let go of people and situations that don't respect it. Not everyone will understand your priorities, and some may even resist the boundaries you set. But if someone continually disregards your time or makes you feel guilty for prioritizing yourself, it may be time to reconsider their place in your life. Surround yourself with people who support your growth, who understand and respect your goals, and who lift you up. These are the people who will encourage you to stay focused, who won't ask for your time in ways that hold you back. Remember that time is finite. Every moment you spend wisely brings you closer to your goals, your dreams, and your ideal life. Guarding your time isn't about being overly rigid or cutting yourself off from people. It's about understanding that your time is precious. It's a gift you can't afford to waste in once. You start respecting it, others will too. By being intentional with your time, setting boundaries, and cutting out distractions, you take control of your life. You choose growth over stagnation, purpose over mindlessness, and self-respect over obligation. In the end, guarding your time is a way to honor yourself, your goals, and the path you're creating for a better future. Cutting out negativity is one of the most empowering choices you can make. Negativity, whether it's coming from people, situations, or even your own mind, has a way of draining you and holding you back from living to your fullest potential. When you allow negativity to take root, it grows like a weed, invading your peace and undermining your confidence. Cutting it out isn't always easy, but it's essential for protecting your mental well-being and preserving your energy for things that truly matter. Think of this as a step towards self-respect and self-care. By choosing to remove negativity from your life, you're choosing to create a more positive, growth-focused environment for yourself. The first step in cutting out negativity is to identify its sources. Take a good look at the people, activities, and environments around you, and be honest about what drains your energy. Sometimes negativity comes from people close to us, friends, or even family members who constantly complain, criticize, or bring unnecessary drama into our lives. These people may not realize the impact they're having on you, and they may not mean any harm, but that doesn't lessen the effect. Negativity can also come from situations, like a toxic work environment or a friend group that pressures you to engage in habits that don't align with your values. The hardest type of negativity to address, though, often comes from within. Negative self-talk and self-doubt can be just as harmful, if not more so, because they attack you from the inside, often without you even realizing it. Once you've identified the sources of negativity, it's time to start setting boundaries. For people who consistently bring negativity into your life, consider limiting your time with them or setting clear expectations about the kinds of conversations you're willing to engage in. Boundaries don't mean cutting people off entirely, though sometimes that might be necessary. Instead, they're about protecting your peace and creating a buffer between you and negativity. For example, if you have a friend who always calls to vent or complain, it's okay to let them know that you're focusing on positivity and would rather discuss other things. By setting boundaries, you're teaching people how to treat you and what you're willing to accept. Dealing with a negative environment, such as a toxic workplace, might require a different approach. Sometimes you may be able to address the negativity by communicating directly with colleagues or managers. In other cases, it may mean finding ways to mentally detach from the negativity around you. Maybe you focus on the aspects of your job that bring you satisfaction, or you create small routines throughout your day that lift your spirits. If the environment is simply too toxic to handle and is affecting your mental health, it might be worth considering a change. Your mental well-being is worth more than any job or environment. And sometimes moving on to a healthier place is the best choice. Then there's the issue of internal negativity. Negative self-talk, doubt, and criticism often feel like they're part of us, but they don't have to be. Start by recognizing when these negative thoughts creep in. It could be something as simple as catching yourself thinking, "I'm not good enough," or "I'll never succeed." Once you're aware of these thoughts, challenge them. Replace them with something constructive, like "I'm capable and will keep improving." This doesn't mean ignoring reality or avoiding constructive feedback. It's about training your mind to focus on growth instead of getting stuck in a loop of self-criticism. Over time, with practice, you can shift your inner dialogue to be more supportive and encouraging. Cutting out negativity also involves letting go of grudges and past hurts. Holding on to anger or resentment can feel like power, but in reality, it only binds you to the past. When you release that negativity, you free yourself to move forward. This doesn't mean forgetting or excusing what happened. It means choosing not to let it define you. Forgiveness, whether it's forgiving others or forgiving yourself, can be one of the most liberating acts you can do. It doesn't make what happened okay, but it does give you back control over your thoughts and emotions. Letting go of the past allows you to focus on the present and create a future that aligns with who you want to be. Another powerful step is to cultivate positive habits that counteract negativity. This could mean surrounding yourself with uplifting people, listening to music that lifts your mood, practicing gratitude, or engaging in activities that bring you joy. The more you fill your life with positivity, the less space there is for negativity. Create a daily habit of recognizing 3 things you're grateful for. Even on tough days, there's always something, whether it's as simple as a good meal or a moment of peace. Gratitude shifts your focus away from what's wrong and helps you appreciate what's right. Remember that cutting out negativity is an ongoing process, not a one-time decision. Life will always have challenges, difficult people, and situations beyond your control. What you can control, however, is how you respond. By consciously choosing positivity and setting boundaries with negativity, you build resilience and create a mindset that's focused on growth and peace. This approach doesn't make problems disappear, but it does empower you to handle them with a clearer mind and a stronger heart. Every time you choose to cut out negativity, you're making room for something better. You're building a life that supports your well-being, your goals, and your happiness. It's a choice to live intentionally, to respect yourself, and to refuse to let negativity dictate your path. The world around you may not always change, but by protecting your peace and staying committed to positivity, you create an inner environment that no outside negativity can shake. This is the strength that fuels true growth, giving you the energy and focus to pursue the life you deserve. Building discipline is the cornerstone of any lasting success. Without discipline, even the best intentions, the most inspiring goals, and the grandest plans lose momentum and eventually fall by the wayside. Discipline is about choosing long-term rewards over short-term gratifications. And it's the key to bridging the gap between where you are now and where you want to be. It's the invisible force that helps you get up when you're tired, push forward when you're uncertain, and stay consistent when distractions threaten to pull you off course. Building discipline requires daily commitment and a mindset shift that prioritizes your growth, well-being, and vision for your life. When it comes to discipline, it's crucial to recognize that motivation can only take you so far. Motivation can get you started, and it can certainly inspire you, but it's a temporary feeling. It comes and goes depending on your mood, energy, and circumstances. Discipline, on the other hand, is unwavering. It's what keeps you moving even when the excitement fades. Discipline is about creating structure and routines that become second nature so that you can make progress consistently regardless of how you feel. When you make discipline a habit, you're no longer relying on the highs of motivation because you've created a system that keeps you accountable, productive, and focused. One of the first steps in building discipline is setting clear goals. Vague intentions like "I want to be successful" or "I want to improve my health" are not enough to sustain you. Instead, get specific about what you want to achieve. Define what success looks like to you and break down that vision into smaller, actionable steps. Maybe it's working out 3 times a week, writing a chapter of your book every month, or saving a specific amount of money by year's end. When you have a clear goal, you know exactly what you're working toward, and it becomes easier to stay disciplined because you have a target in mind. Your goals give your discipline a purpose, and with purpose, discipline becomes easier to maintain. A powerful tool for building discipline is establishing a routine. Routines create a sense of order and predictability in your life, making it easier to follow through on tasks that contribute to your goals. When something is part of your routine, you don't have to think about it as much or rely on willpower alone. For example, if your goal is to exercise regularly, make it part of your morning routine so that it becomes a natural part of your day. With a routine, discipline feels less like a struggle and more like a natural rhythm that guides your actions. Over time, these routines become habits, and habits are the foundation of a disciplined life. Along with routines, setting small, achievable goals can help you build momentum in your journey to becoming more disciplined. It's easy to get discouraged if you set goals that are too ambitious or if you try to change everything at once. Instead, focus on small wins. Start with one habit and work on it until it feels manageable before adding something new. Each small success reinforces your confidence and builds your self-discipline gradually. This approach prevents burnout and helps you create a sustainable lifestyle that supports your larger goals. As you accomplish these smaller tasks, you build resilience and prove to yourself that you're capable of sticking with things over time. Accountability is another critical component of discipline. Holding yourself accountable might mean tracking your progress, keeping a journal, or finding a friend who shares similar goals to check in with regularly. Accountability forces you to stay honest with yourself and take responsibility for your actions. It's easy to make excuses in the privacy of your own mind, but when you're accountable to someone else or even to a written record, it's harder to let things slide. Accountability can be a powerful motivator, reminding you of why you started and pushing you to keep going, even when the journey feels challenging. Discipline also requires managing your time effectively. Without time management, it's easy to feel overwhelmed or to procrastinate on important tasks. Prioritize your day by identifying the most important tasks that will bring you closer to your goals and tackle them first. Create a daily plan that aligns with your priorities and make a commitment to stick to it. When you allocate your time intentionally, you're taking control of your day instead of letting distractions dictate your actions. With disciplined time management, you begin to see progress steadily, and that progress motivates you to keep moving forward. It's important to remember that setbacks are part of the process. Discipline doesn't mean being perfect, it means being resilient. There will be days when you don't feel like following through, days when life gets in the way, or days when you make mistakes. But discipline isn't about never failing, it's about getting back up and continuing in spite of those failures. When you fall off track, remind yourself why you started and pick up where you left off. Every time you choose to return to your routine, you strengthen your discipline and prove to yourself that you're capable of pushing through obstacles. Building discipline requires a balance of patience and persistence. It's a skill that develops over time, not overnight. Understand that the process will be slow and there will be times when progress feels minimal. Trust that each small step is moving you closer to your goals, even if you can't see immediate results. Discipline is a long game. It's about consistently showing up day after day, week after week, because you believe in the outcome you're working toward. Discipline is ultimately a commitment to yourself. It's a promise to honor your goals, respect your time, and invest in your future. When you choose discipline, you're choosing to take control of your life and to create something meaningful out of your efforts. Over time, as you build discipline, you'll find that the hard work becomes less of a burden and more of a source of pride. You'll see the results of your commitment, and you'll become someone who can be relied upon, both by others and by yourself. Discipline is a gift you give yourself, and as you strengthen it, you empower yourself to live a life that aligns with your values, dreams, and potential. Focusing on progress rather than perfection is one of the most liberating shifts you can make on your journey toward personal growth. Too often, people get paralyzed by the desire to do everything flawlessly, to meet impossibly high standards that keep them from ever getting started, or worse, leave them feeling constantly unsatisfied with their efforts. But the truth is, perfection is an illusion. It doesn't exist. No matter how hard you try, there will always be something you could improve, something you wish you'd done differently, or another standard to meet. When you're focused on progress, though, you release yourself from the chains of perfectionism. You recognize that growth happens gradually and that every step forward, no matter how small, is valuable and worth celebrating. Progress-oriented thinking means embracing the journey rather than obsessing over the destination. When you look at each step as part of a process, you give yourself permission to learn, experiment, and make mistakes along the way. Mistakes are a natural part of progress. They're not signs of failure, but opportunities to gain insights and strengthen your resilience. Think of progress as a staircase. Each step builds upon the last, and while it may take time to reach the top, every step brings you closer to your goal. If you're fixated on perfection, you may never take that first step because you're afraid of stumbling. But with a focus on progress, you're willing to keep moving forward, knowing that each small advance is a part of something bigger. When you shift your mindset toward progress, you're also giving yourself room to grow at your own pace. No one's journey looks exactly the same, and comparing your path to someone else's can leave you feeling discouraged or inadequate. Embracing a progress-based approach allows you to focus on what you need, what works for you, and what steps you can take today. It's a shift from asking, am I perfect yet, to am I better than I was yesterday? This simple reframe changes the way you view your journey. Instead of feeling the constant pressure to be flawless, you feel empowered by each improvement, no matter how small. You're no longer racing against an invisible standard, but moving at a pace that feels right for you, one step at a time. Another benefit of focusing on progress is that it helps to build resilience. When you aim for perfection, even the smallest setback can feel overwhelming, making it tempting to give up altogether. But when you're focused on progress, setbacks become part of the process. You're able to view them with perspective, understanding that growth is rarely a straight line. It often includes ups and downs, pauses, and pivots. Progress-oriented people see setbacks as temporary and use them as a foundation for future success. If something doesn't work, they reassess, learn, and adjust their approach. This mindset creates a sense of flexibility, allowing you to adapt to whatever life throws your way without feeling defeated. Progress over perfection also means celebrating your wins, no matter how small. When you're fixated on perfection, nothing ever feels quite good enough, and you might downplay or ignore your accomplishments because they didn't meet that impossible standard. But celebrating progress means acknowledging every victory along the way. Each small achievement is a step in the right direction. Maybe you finished a project a little later than planned, but you gave it your best effort. Perhaps you didn't meet a fitness goal perfectly, but you showed up consistently and improved your health. Recognizing these wins helps keep your motivation high and reminds you of how far you've come. It's these small, regular celebrations that fuel you to keep going, knowing that every step you take matters and contributes to your overall growth. Focusing on progress rather than perfection also allows you to stay open to feedback without feeling defensive. If you're constantly seeking perfection, any critique can feel like a personal attack, a sign that you're not good enough. But with a progress mindset, feedback becomes a valuable tool. You're not trying to prove you're flawless, you're simply trying to improve. Feedback helps you see where you can make adjustments and refine your skills, giving you insights that contribute to your growth. When you're open to feedback, you're more likely to stay humble, grounded, and motivated to continue evolving. You understand that you're a work in progress, and each piece of constructive criticism is like a guidepost, helping you navigate the journey toward becoming a better version of yourself. Another essential aspect of focusing on progress is learning to accept imperfection. Embracing imperfection doesn't mean settling for less or giving up on high standards. It means understanding that your best effort today is enough, even if it's not flawless. Sometimes what you can accomplish in a given moment is limited by time, energy, or circumstances. Accepting this reality allows you to keep moving forward without being weighed down by guilt or regret. When you let go of the need to be perfect, you make space for creativity, risk-taking, and innovation. You allow yourself to try new things, explore new ideas, and push boundaries you might never have attempted if you were worried about failing. This openness to imperfection often leads to more authentic, satisfying, and meaningful achievements because you're working from a place of growth and discovery rather than fear of falling short. Focusing on progress encourages patience. Building something meaningful takes time. Whether it's learning a new skill, pursuing a career, or working on personal development, results don't come overnight. By valuing progress over perfection, you're giving yourself permission to enjoy the journey without rushing to the finish line. This approach fosters a sense of patience and persistence that's essential for long-term success. When you're patient with yourself, you're less likely to burn out or become disheartened by temporary setbacks. You're able to stay consistent, showing up each day with a mindset focused on growth rather than immediate results. Over time, this patience pays off as you see the cumulative effect of your efforts, the progress you've made, the skills you've gained, and the growth you've experienced. Focusing on progress rather than perfection is not about lowering your standards, it's about freeing yourself to become the best version of yourself without the unrealistic burden of flawlessness. This mindset allows you to appreciate every step of your journey, to learn from your experiences, and to keep moving forward no matter what challenges arise. It's a shift that brings greater satisfaction, resilience, and fulfillment. By valuing progress, you're building a foundation of growth that empowers you to reach your goals with strength, flexibility, and an open heart. Each day, you have a chance to improve, to learn, and to move closer to the life you envision, one step at a time. When you focus on your own path, you're making a commitment to prioritize what truly matters to you, rather than being distracted or sidetracked by others' opinions or choices. Life is full of noise, advice, opinions, judgments, and expectations that can pull you in 1,000 directions. But focusing on your own path is about clearing that noise, silencing external distractions, and investing in what will genuinely move you closer to your goals and dreams. It's about tuning out the voices that don't understand your vision and the doubts that cloud your confidence, and instead, tuning into what you know to be true for yourself. Focusing on your path doesn't mean ignoring valuable input or refusing help. It's about discerning which influences help you and which ones drain you. Too often, people look outside of themselves for validation or guidance on what they should be doing. And while feedback is helpful, constantly seeking others' approval only leads to confusion and self-doubt. People may have different values, experiences, or ideas that don't necessarily align with your vision. And if you let yourself be swayed by every opinion, you end up losing sight of what you genuinely want. Focusing on your path is a declaration of self-trust. It means recognizing that you, more than anyone else, know what is right for your life and that your choices are valid, even if others don't understand or agree with them. When you're centered on your own journey, you develop a deeper understanding of yourself, your strengths, weaknesses, passions, and ambitions. This self-awareness is powerful because it helps you make decisions aligned with your authentic self, rather than choices based on fleeting trends or other people's preferences. Knowing yourself means you can identify opportunities that resonate with your values and avoid situations that don't support your growth. You're not wasting energy trying to fit into a mold that isn't made for you. Instead, you're creating your path, one that's uniquely yours. In a world where it's easy to get lost in comparisons, grounding yourself in your own journey is an act of courage and authenticity. The comparison trap is one of the biggest distractions from focusing on your own path. Social media and modern culture often make it seem like everyone else has it figured out, that their lives are progressing smoothly, and that they're achieving things at a pace you could only hope to match. But the truth is, you're only seeing a snapshot, a carefully curated moment that doesn't capture the full reality of their journey. When you compare yourself to others, you undermine your unique process, failing to recognize that everyone's journey has its own challenges, timelines, and victories. Focusing on your own path helps you appreciate your growth without needing to measure it against someone else's life. It allows you to go at your own pace, confident in the knowledge that your journey is valid, regardless of how it compares to others. Focusing on your path is also about valuing the journey over the destination. Often people fixate so much on achieving specific outcomes that they miss out on the valuable lessons and experiences that happen along the way. But when you're truly invested in your own journey, you start to see each step, each challenge, and each moment as meaningful. You realize that growth isn't just about reaching a goal, but about who you become in the process. The skills you gain, the resilience you build, and the wisdom you accumulate are just as valuable as the end result. With this perspective, you're more patient with yourself, willing to give each stage the time it needs without rushing to the next one. The beauty of focusing on your path is that it allows you to embrace setbacks as a natural part of the journey. When you're focused on your progress rather than the pace at which others are moving, you develop resilience, knowing that obstacles are temporary. You learn to view setbacks not as failures, but as essential parts of growth, each one teaching you something new about yourself or the world. You're less likely to give up when things get tough because your commitment isn't tied to immediate success. It's rooted in a deeper purpose, one that values persistence and endurance. Embracing your unique journey also frees you from the fear of failure because you understand that every setback is an opportunity to learn and improve. When you focus on your path, you're building a life that's aligned with your values, desires, and vision. This alignment brings a sense of fulfillment and peace that can't be achieved by living according to someone else's standards. You find satisfaction in knowing that your actions and decisions are guided by what matters to you. Living authentically in this way gives you a sense of purpose and direction that others may lack. You're no longer swayed by the pressures to conform or the expectations of others because you're clear about who you are and what you want. You find strength in your choices, knowing that they're part of a bigger vision that you're actively creating every day. Focusing on your path is an act of self-respect. It's about recognizing that you're worthy of the effort, time, and energy it takes to pursue your dreams. When you commit to your own journey, you're telling yourself that your goals and aspirations are worth the dedication. It's a mindset that values growth, authenticity, and purpose over approval and external validation. Staying focused on your path requires courage, but it's this courage that will carry you through the inevitable ups and downs of life, helping you build a legacy that's true to who you are. Focusing on your path isn't about isolating yourself from others or disregarding their experiences. It's about honoring your unique journey and giving yourself the freedom to explore, grow, and to why evolve at your own pace. It's about cultivating an inner resilience that doesn't waver in the face of judgment, and developing a sense of self-trust that empowers you to make decisions with confidence. When you prioritize your own path, you create a life that reflects your values, dreams, and vision. You no longer feel the need to compete or conform because you're fulfilled by the knowledge that you're living in alignment with your truest self. Embrace this journey, trust in its pace, and remember that every step forward, no matter how small, is a step toward the life you're meant to live. In the end, focusing on yourself and your own journey is not about shutting out the world, but about tuning into your own voice amid the noise. It's a commitment to growth over perfection, progress over comparison, and authenticity over approval. By investing your time and energy into what truly aligns with your values, you free yourself from the pressures of conformity and the distractions of others' opinions. Each step forward, no matter how small, becomes meaningful when it's taken with purpose. This path of self-focus builds resilience, patience, and a deep sense of fulfillment that comes only from living in harmony with who you are. So take ownership of your journey. Let each experience, every lesson, every challenge shape you. Trust your pace, celebrate your progress, and let go of the need to be perfect or validated by others. Remember, the life you're building isn't for anyone else, it's yours. Walk it with purpose, grow with each step, and embrace the person you're becoming. In the end, the path of self-focus leads to a place of inner strength and a life that feels uniquely, powerfully yours.